and thanks for joining us for your CCRC Community News Update. I'm Asia Gore. Everyone knows someone. That's the theme of this year's Domestic Violence Awareness Month campaign. CCRC's Yesenia Rodriguez joins us with more.
October is a month of awareness dedicated to creating a world in which domestic violence no longer exists. National data shows that 1 in 3 women, 1 in 4 men, and nearly half of LGBTQ+ people will experience domestic violence in their lifetime. Even when they are not physically harmed, children can be seriously traumatized from witnessing abuse. That's why it's important to be aware that anyone can experience domestic violence, and it's up to us to create a safe, understanding environment.
Children that witness or grow up in a domestic violence home can really be affected in such a traumatic way. And now we know more about adverse childhood experiences. So children that are in a domestic violence home, they are experiencing trauma. So they qualify under adverse childhood experiences, also known as ACEs. And as we know now, and we're learning more about, children that have more than one or even one ACE in their life can experience depression and anxiety, also a lot of physical problems like cardiovascular disease, migraines, and difficulty functioning. So children really are affected by domestic violence.
Domestic Violence Awareness Month evolved from the Day of Unity in October 1981. For CCRC News Update, I'm Yesenia Rodriguez. Asia, back to you.
Check out our Strengthening Families blog for more ways to help. A Canadian national with a passion for helping disabled animals, CCRC's new Chief Financial Officer is ready to take on this important leadership role at our agency. Let us introduce you to Monica Emerson.
So when I was younger, I was really good at math, and I assumed math equated to accounting. A friend of mine recommended that I sit for the CPA exam for fun. Just try it out, you know.
It's not everyone's idea of fun, but a young Monica took that exam, and she passed it, meaning she could begin working immediately.
I had a full-time job during the day. I had 2 small children that I needed to take care of, and I was a single mother. And after I graduated, when I went to work at Deloitte, which is like a 70 or 80-hour work week, it was difficult for childcare for my children because I didn't have family that lived out here in Los Angeles.
She couldn't afford childcare, so she relied on friends for support. Her determination paid off, and she ultimately went on to work for the Conrad and Hilton Foundation as Deputy CFO and Treasurer.
The harder a job is, the more excited I am.
Monica attributes her work ethic to a strength that may very well be genetic.
They were both in Poland during World War II, and my father was in Auschwitz. He spent his youth in Auschwitz.
She reveals a tattoo on her left arm, the number tattooed on her father when he was imprisoned in a Nazi concentration camp.
As his name here in Hebrew, it says Moshe. And he lost his whole family to Auschwitz.
Near the war's end, Monica says her father was marched to a different camp. From there, he was taken to an orphanage, then loaded onto a Canada-bound boat with other survivors. In Montreal, he met Monica's mother, and they married at the age of 17.
It gives me strength to be a survivor. I mean, I know if my father hadn't been so strong and survived, then I wouldn't be around today.
The product of 2 Jewish refugees, Monica grew up speaking Yiddish, then learned French in school. She loves to learn, travel, and help others, which is why she accepted the job at CCRC.
I love the fact that it was about children. And it's so nice to hear little kids running around in the lobby. It's just such a great organization that they make the family life better.
Mario and Princess Peach, Pac-Man, and Spyro the Dragon gathered round the table for a game of cards. It's not the setup to a joke. That was the scene at our annual poker tournament fundraiser. Dozens of people showed up to play cards for a good cause. This year, the theme was retro video games, and guests did not disappoint with their costumes. We saw Batman, a fairy, a cowboy, and the Hulk. Plus, staff put on a thrilling Super Mario Kart race. The winner of this year's tournament was Eric Lopez. All proceeds raised from the tournament benefit our annual Adopt a Family campaign. This special event provides local children and families with books, toys, a family game, and other needed items for the holidays. Last year, one mom told us she felt like she'd won the lottery. Every dollar you donate now through Giving Tuesday on November 28th will help us make the holidays merry and bright for children and families living in our community. And speaking of fun times for families, mark your calendars for our upcoming Victor Valley Play Day. This annual day of fun takes place in Victorville on Saturday, November 18th. We hope to see you there. The fall season often means a lot of sweet treats, but we have for you a healthy Halloween snack that won't leave you reaching for your kid's candy bucket. These pumpkin oatmeal bars add a nice dose of complex carbohydrates, which we need for energy. Plus, rolled oats take longer to digest than processed flour, so these bars will leave you feeling full and energized for hours. And did we mention they're delicious? Think pumpkin pie meets granola bar. The best part is your kids will love this treat too. Head over to our YouTube page to watch the full cooking demonstration where we show you how to make this step by step. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for tuning in, and be sure to follow us on social media. Keeping you up to speed and informed, I'm Asia Gore with your CCRC Community News Update.